everyone, and welcome to GrayManPrepping. Tonight's topic is kind of a twofold again, but the main prepping topic is black, dark gray, and gray water. But until then, it's going to be us. Hey, and Uncle Al should be joining us here in a little bit. How's everybody doing out there? Oh, it looks like we had a whole bunch more people come in. Everybody's chit-chatting a whole bunch. So first off, for those that are here, that are already here, the reason why we started a couple minutes late was that I screwed up. I had a brain fart. When Courtney posted her little thing on Facebook saying starting at 9 o'clock or 9:30, I wasn't thinking Eastern time. I was thinking my time. I go, I got plenty of time. I can end it, go, be done. And we got a half hour before. She said, no. So
she normally does go later on Wednesday nights. So,
well, at least the after party. But I totally, I was totally spacing out, between Mountain Time and Eastern Time, and everything went. So let's go down here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so comment section. Ryan the Gamer was in there. Backwoods Law. Oh, it's in 3 more days. It's Ryan's birthday, guys. If you haven't checked out Ryan the Gamer, check out his channel. Okay, he's got some really cool stuff over there on his channel. He plays a lot of music and stuff on there too, but it's really cool. And if you get, especially around the Labor Day, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, he always has cool stuff for the vets. All right, so let me go on down here, catching up here. Everybody's chit-chatting. Aiden came in. Tasha at Prep For It came in. Mm-hmm. And Gardner Josh is here. And, okay.
Appears to be it at the moment.
What was that?
I said that appears to be it at the moment.
Yep. All right, so we're going to give it a couple more minutes here for so Courtney doesn't have to cut off too early, and then we're going to jump in. Oh, Albany Mountain Homestead, how you doing?
And Backwoods, happy early birthday.
Backwoods birthday too?
In 2 days.
In 2 days. Cool. Mine's not until September.
Mine's in October. Now that we got our birthdays out of the way.
Right now, we're going to talk a little weather talk here before we jump into the gray water thing. Right now, it's back up to 89. It went down a couple degrees early, a little bit, and then it spiked again. And it's been hot so long today. It's 84 and a half in here. We don't have AC, but because it's an all-electric house. If I run AC, oh man, I do have AC in the bedroom, but it comes on later and runs until basically we got a time thing where it's like a third the cost for the electricity, and that's from 11 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. And so the AC shuts off at 8 o'clock in the bedroom, and it just holds it for most of the day so you can actually get some sleep. But hey, this is not as bad as when I went to high school in Fredonia, Arizona. If you're wondering where Fredonia, Arizona,
you froze?
I froze. I wish I was freezing. If you look at the state of Arizona, where the Grand Canyon cuts across the northwest corner, Fredonia, Arizona is the largest town in what's known as the Arizona Strip up there. And in the summer of, get it right here, so I graduated in 75, so summer of 74, it was 120 degrees in the shade there for about a month and a half. And the house we were in did not have any air conditioning at all. Fortunately, it was very well insulated, but still it got up and it heated up, and that was a scorcher there. Now, so one of the things is I'm also going to be why I'm pushing on the black water, gray water stuff tonight is because what's going on all across the western United States, the number of fires is phenomenally out of control. And so we need to save as much water as we can here. Hey, Jay. Jay's in the house. And if you haven't caught any of them I mentioned before or anything else, they're shutting off our irrigation water at the end of August instead of going to October 15th like they normally do. That's because the water levels are coming down. And unfortunately, nobody here has had to deal with the drought. And so I'm looking around town, everybody's still running all their yard sprinklers off of city water and just running water, everything. And it's like, guys, stop using up our city water because the water table is going down and we're going to run out of water here in the city if you guys don't do it. So at the next city council meeting, I'm going to have them put out a decree to tell everybody stop watering your lawns. If you have an irrigation dish, you can flood irrigate, but none of the sprinklers off the city water. All right, I think I've given Courtney plenty enough time to do whatever she's going to do. Hey, Steve, of course, there's Trainer. So I'm going to jump into the presentation now here. Oh, and we're going to talk about black water, dark gray water, and gray water. And of course, Mel's going, what? You're talking about black water and gray water? Yes, we are. And for some clarification first before we get everybody on their ear about it. From the way most people classify it two ways, either gray water or black water. Hey, Al. And the difference between and that's how they do it, gray water or black water. Well, if you have a good systems designer and more people are coming on board with this, they classify it three ways: black water, dark gray, or gray water. And there's a difference. I'm going to go over that for you right now so you understand what's going on. Okay, black water is water you do not use, i.e. toilet water. It is the nasty stuff.
Right.
Gray water is reusable either just as it is or with some filtering depending how you're going to use it. Dark gray water is kitchen water because it has some biomatter in it. Good stuff goes down to sink, but it's not biohazard. And laundry water is considered dark gray because it can be either black or gray water depending what you're doing with it. And if that sounds confusing, I'm going to straighten that out next here. So with your laundry water, we're just showing us a simple laundry only system here.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah. It has here on it a diverter valve. So you can run it into the sewer or outside into the yard. If you are running it out into the yard, you got to make sure of certain things you're not putting out to the yard. Let's see if I do it here. And the problems of running stuff out in the water, if the water is, you run a really hot load. You don't want to run that out into the garden or onto the roots of the tree. You don't want, because it'll kill plants.
Yeah.
If you're running a bleach load, you don't want to run it outside.
Also, it kills plants.
If you've been out working on the car or the tractor or whatever, and you're all greasy and grimy, you got oil in your clothes and stuff, and you run that load through, you don't want that crap going.
Froze again, Elsa.
Froze. Yeah. You don't want that crappy, grimy, greasy crap going out into the garden or into the yard or anywhere else. Right. So basically, the bleach and the grease make it black water.
Right. Or if you, like Uncle Al, if you work around a lot of caustic chemicals and you wash your clothes, that's black water. Do not rewash it. Use it. And also certain diapers, because Uncle Alan used to help out with it.
If you're doing diapers, if you're doing cloth diapers, that's automatically a black water. Yeah. And that's what the valve's for.
Right. Before they had the disposable adult diapers, they used to use cloth, same as babies. So if you don't want a big black water mess, understand each load of your laundry.
Yep. Now, let me go here. All right. So this valve here is a three-way valve. And they come two different ways. One where it goes either one or the other, or one where you can shut off any one of them or have them all open. You got to be careful with the type valve you get. The valves also come made out of PVC like here, or made out of black ABS pipe, just like your sewer plumbing pipe in the house. So basically you put it on there and you just switch it whether you're going to be going sewer or gray. All right. Now, the other thing here, who did I just, I thought I saw someone pop in there.
You missed the comment.
What was the comment?
We should start a drinking, or should we start a drinking game every time CFC freezes?
Oh, Lord,
well, actually, it's not that. CFC, it's GMP. Which actually, guys, which is, all right, I got to get this out there. One of the reasons I picked GrayManPrepping 8 years ago, because GMP are my initials. All right. Now, so when it comes, you absolutely do not want to put, hey, CB, you do not want to put any bleach product at all into a system that is going to be processing gray water.
And for those who are living out in the country who have their own septic systems and use something like Rid-X to keep the bacteria alive and healthy, make sure you don't put any bleach or anything through your toilet that would leach into your septic tank and out into your leach field.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Yeah. All right. Now, bleach is not the only bad thing people are using. And this has been going on for at least 15 years.
Yep.
Let's bring it up here. Antibacterial hand soap. Every sanitary district sewage treatment plant hates it because basically they use bacteria in their treatment process to kill off and break down fecal matter and to kill off all the bad bacteria. Well, when you use the antibacterial hand soaps, it kills off the good bacteria first, right away, instantly, right. And leaves the bad bacteria there going, ooh, nothing bother us now.
That's why my city, for the hospital here, we have our own septic system for the hospital because they use a lot of antibacterial stuff. So it doesn't go with the regular city
so now Al's
water.
Freezing.
What?
So now Al froze for a moment.
Oh, sorry. So our city does not use a direct line to the city's sewer treatment plant. They have a different plant because, trust me, I seen one of the pipes break and we had foam all over Main Street. So that wasn't fun.
Yeah, a lot. Back in California, where my wife still is there in Contra Costa, there's two main sanitary districts on the near the county seat. The one is the Central Sand or Contra Costa Central Sanitary District, and the other one is the Mountain View Sanitary District. Both of them, for years, were putting out letters warning everybody not to use the antibacterial hand soap because it was causing problems with the treatment plant, and they were going to have to raise the sewer rates because they're going to have to buy, because of the other chemicals they had to get to kill. They couldn't do it with the natural, with the bacteria, the good bacteria. Was it froze again? Froze. They had to get chemicals in there to kill the bad bacteria rather than using the good stuff, and then they had to treat for those chemicals. So
that's why Dawn stopped producing the antibacterial dishwashing soap because so many counties in California complained, and the soap doesn't disintegrate. It kept foaming in the damn sewer lines.
Yep.
Ouch, Albany. That kind of hurt.
Steve says drink.
Boy. Let's drink. All right.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Now, there are several municipalities out there that are stuck in the Stone Age, and they do not want to see gray water see the light of day. If you want to put in a gray water system, everything's got to remain underground, almost like a regular septic system. Even if you're on a regular city sewer line and you're putting in a gray water system, basically you have to put in a separate septic tank system. And except that you can direct wherever you want your groundwater. You can direct it so it stays underground, and it has underground emitters, and it leaches in underneath your garden, underneath your planters, wherever you want it to go, but it can't see the time of day. These guys are stuck in the dark ages. Now, there are some of them just that don't mind if you're using stuff from the shower or the sinks, but some are a little iffy on the laundry. You can just run it out there. You can set up what's known as a mulch field. You dig a little ditch, fill it full of mulch, and have the water go in there, and it starts breaking down and mulching, helping the mulching stuff and everything else. You can set up ones where you got buried buckets or containers that have holes in it where it leaches out. You can set up what's called an outlet shield where the pipe comes out, and you have a bunch of rocks there, and then it kind of just goes out. So the subsoil infiltration chamber is the best preferred one because it basically keeps it from getting to the air. It's sort of like putting it into a tortoise shell where it leaches out. These are just some of the ones that are out there. I couldn't find out which municipality this one came from, but they have a permit and non-permit system. If it's coming from your laundry, apparently, not the shower, not the bathroom sinks, just from the washing machine, you can run it out into a mulch subsurface drainage field there, and it doesn't require a permit. If you run the others into a gray water surge tank, which is no treatment, it's just a tank, it goes in there, and pump it out through subsurface emitters, you need a permit. So that's just, I'm not sure which municipality that is, but at least they're a little bit farther ahead of the previous one. So, a lot of them just say, hey, you can run your tub, your clothes washer, your sinks, non-kitchen, because kitchens all have a garbage disposal, so people are putting a bunch of garbage down in there.
I don't have a garbage disposal.
Neither do I, but they say you can't. Non-kitchen sinks, you can run it into a surge tank, and you can run it on sprinklers, above ground emitters, however you want to, use the water up on your yard. So they're a little bit better. They're actually now starting to design houses with a recycled gray water system. I do not like this system the way they got it set up here because it's great. I'll explain it to you. You'll see why. So your water you have your water coming from your showers and sinks and the washing machine, goes through a filter, a gray water filter, into a underground storage tank. That has a pump that pumps it up to a tank in the attic, where it holds it up there in the attic and it goes down to the toilets. So it's a gravity feed from that to your toilets. I wouldn't want a 100-gallon tank up there, a 50-gallon tank up there. 50 gallons times 9 is
not counting the weight of the tank itself.
Yeah, you're looking at 500 pounds up there.
Additional stress.
Additional stress on stuff. Now, I've talked to some other guys, and personally, this is the way I set mine up at when I was using the recycled water from the sanitary district in California. Froze again. I had one of my tanks, my IBC tank, sitting outside, and I fill up with water from the treated water from the sewage treatment plant, and I had a little RV surge pump, on-demand pumps. When you turn on the thing, it starts going, and it starts spurting the water out. I had one of those set up to fill the toilet tanks whenever the toilet tank was empty. The valve would shut off. It would shut that off, and it would automatic shut off because there's pressure against it. Well, that's one of the things that I would rather do than have a tank up in the attic. But this little gray water filter here is not little. And I'm going to show you what some of those look like here in a minute. In fact, right now. This here is about 24 to 30 inches long, about 24 inches tall, and about 14 to 18 inches wide. And the water comes in on the left side here, goes through the filter mediums here, and it doesn't show the picture, but a sump pump sits here, and then it pumps it out to wherever you need it at. So here it is with the pump in there. So it comes through it, pumps it out, and it discharges it out however you want to do it, whether it's a soaker hose, whether it's little spray emitters or drip emitters, or just a garden hose running it out there to wherever you want it at. Now this media in here, let me show you what that looks like. I call this top ramen. This stuff's 1.5 inches thick, and they come in, you get in different sizes. I used to use this for my koi pond. And that's important because my koi pond had, using the filter system I had up, had cleaner water coming out of the waterfall back into the pond than what was coming out of the tap. And it actually removed the chlorine and chloramine from the water. But
Gil,
yeah,
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever clean out these filters?
I would rinse the filters out about once a month. I had several different barrels. So I do one, rinse it out, rinse another one out. They have pre-filter netting on top of them, which catches any big stuff. And that I do wash out weekly. But yeah, there's a whole system on running a koi pond filtration system. But if you do it right, you're getting cleaner. You can drink the water out of that's cleaner than tap water.
Right, because koi die really easy in bad water.
Yes. Oh yeah.
$300 down the drain, see the fish float up.
Per fish.
Yeah.
All right. They're putting these into a lot of systems now where they have the water. They collect the water. It goes into bioreactors, which is basically what those things we just saw were on a different scale and stuff. These are bigger ones. They have 1 and 2 stages. I've even seen 4-stage ones. And then the recycled water, then it goes back and is used to flush toilets. And if it's a good system, they can even use it for the washing machine, providing the cold water to the washing machine because it's cleaned that good. But yeah, I've also seen what I talk about. They use it outside for people to wash down their cars. They're using reclaimed water that's been cleaned. So it's not this straight gray water. It's been cleaned. It's still classified as gray water, but it's cleaned gray water. All right. So this here is a system similar to what I had for my koi pond. I actually had 6 of the barrels full of the filter medium, and they were set up to I had the lids on mine. I had the plumbing going into the lid, so no leaves, no outside dirt and stuff would get in it. That's how come my system is so good. Yeah, exactly. Or bird poop, or the squirrels running around, or anything else. This water was a sealed system on mine, and that's how come mine was so clean. But these in these different ones are those mats of the fabric material, the plastic matting material.
Right. It's like what we use in swamp coolers.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
No. Actually, it's hard plastic. I mean, this stuff does not bend.
Here,
right? And it's 1.5 inches thick.
The best way to generalize what that plastic looks and feels like is if y'all remember back in the early to mid 70s, possibly late 70s, maybe a little bit in the early 80s, the big ugly plastic decorations they made for the holidays that were gaudy and pokey as hell. That's the same kind of plastic they use to make these filter mediums.
Yeah, it's plastic, and it's really like I said, the stuff I would get it in the 2 foot wide, 4 foot long sheets, and I would cut it to fit inside my barrels. It was use a jigsaw and just cut it and wash it out before I put it in there. Yeah. But see, the bacteria sticks to the outside of it. It that filter material does not absorb water at all, and the water just flows through it. So basically, I would had 6 of mine full of those, and then I had some material on top, which is similar to quilting batting, and when it's a lot tougher and stronger. And it was set up so I could once a week I just pop the lid off, pull one of those out, put it back down, rinse that one out, put it back in, and only have to stop the pumps going for a couple seconds while I pulled it out, put it back in. We're selling their water on the black market as pure. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Jay, koi is spelled Koi. No offense, but just so everybody knows what you're talking about when you say that out there. That's more like koi. Anyways,
they're not
the other thing that mine had, I had 2 the lava rock filter systems similar to this. One was 8 foot long, the other one was 16 foot long. The 8 foot one set up on top on the other one overlapped, so it went through the water went through it, drained down into the next one, drained.
You folks, you understand what Gil's talking about with the lava rock?
Yeah, so the water's flowing through the lava rock. The lava rock, with all of its little nooks and crannies, gives the bacteria places to live.
Also, what else, Gil?
And well, I'll get to that in a second here. Give me a second here. And so what one of the things we did is my wife and I tried, because the guys at the thing say, yeah, if you get some of these water baskets, you can put plants in them with a special soil, and you just put them out there, and the roots get out there and start cleaning the water too. Well, the thing is, as soon as a root got outside the basket, so the roots pokes outside the basket, here comes the koi fish and eats it right up. And the plants weren't doing very good. So I set a couple of plants over in this, and they started growing better. And so basically, I just filled up both those lava rock filters with watercress, water hyacinth, water lettuce, and I can't remember the other plant right now off the top of my head. Water lily, water lilies.
Yeah, there.
And within 2 weeks to a month, those things their roots had infiltrated down into all the lava rock too. And they pulled absolutely every bit of this nitrites and nitrates out of there, and the water coming and all the fecal matter from the fish, everything was. The water coming out when I ran all of my tests on it was cleaner and pure than the city tap water.
Hello, everybody from Courtney's place.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi,
Courtney. Hey, Courtney. So when I was using my koi pond using the lava rock filters, I had watercress coming out my ears. We were giving away to everybody we knew. Oh, you want some watercress? Here. What they're paying like for $5 at the store, we were giving them twice as much for free. And we had tons of it.
Yep.
And so using gray water, you can set this up with the same thing for a gray water system, where you're running the gray water through those mediums, through this, and you just you have a little pond, and you just keep circulating the water with a little small pump. And as you add to it from the house, and you just draw off the pond whenever you need to water or whatever, you're going to be watering with cleaner water than your tap water. Plus, you can have all this water, watercress and everything else, waterborne plants, vegetables and stuff in the lava rock stuff. That'll just absolutely be amazing.
Right, watercress and also lotus. That was the word you were thinking of next to water lilies?
Could have been.
Yeah, those soak up nitrates really fast in the water. Also, lava rock, what does it put in for the koi? Oxygen.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't put in the oxygen, the koi is going like, there's nitrates and we can't breathe.
Yeah, and that was the purpose for the waterfall coming out of the lava rock too. I had it set up so it the waterfall actually aerated more as it before it hit the water too.
Yep.
You got a whole bunch of people coming in here.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people. So
it's a Courtney raid.
It's a Courtney raid. So the lava rock and everything, with the filter medium in the barrels can really clean up your gray water. But remember, very important part here to remember, no bleach of any kind goes into a gray water system. Bleach makes the water black water. And the same thing goes with your antibacterial hand soaps.
Right.
You put that in there, it kills a gray water system, and it's not good for your plants if you put it straight out on the plants either.
Right. Also, folks, anybody who's my age group, stop using fabric softener. Stop pouring that in. That's
I haven't used fabric softener in years.
Oh, yeah. Fabric softener and all that stuff is not good for the environment. It's not good for your clothes. It's not good for you because it doesn't wash totally out of the clothes if it's making it soft. It stays in there.
Yep. Gives you cancer.
Yeah. Wrong one. There we go. And that was the last slide, I believe. Yeah, that was the last slide of that. So those that missed the beginning of the presentation. Okay, hang on here. Let's see here. All right. Okay, that's something else. I didn't see a reply there, Steve, if you were talking to me on the email.
No, he was talking to Fish.
Talking to Fish. Okay, good. Because I know I sent Steve an email with the link to come on up here. There we go. Try and drop that down. So yeah. So basically, what I was explaining, there's three types. It's not just gray and black water. It's black water, which is totally sewer. Dark gray. And gray water. And dark gray is like from your sinks where if you got vegetable matter and other stuff like that in it. And some municipalities don't like that going out there. Oh, it's gonna rot and stink. But and in your laundry, I'm gonna go back to the laundry just to cover the laundry here, guys. The laundry is very important. Let me go back here.
Are they down under?
Hey, Darren.
Okay, with your laundry, you need to have a three-way valve on it up here. The reason being is there's some loads you don't want it to go out into your gray water system. You want it to go straight to the sewer. And those are the ones that are going to cause you a problem. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. And that is if you're running a hot load, you don't want that going out onto your plants. It's going to cause problems. That doesn't make it black, but you just don't want that out there. If you're doing a bleach load, you do not want that going out onto your plants. You don't want that going into a gray water treatment system. It'll kill the bacteria. It'll kill the plants. That makes it a black load, a black water load. If you've been out working on the tractors or on the cars and you got all oily, greasy, your grease rags to wash off, and your pants are all greasy, that load is a black water load. You don't want that going out into your gray water system at all. You don't want that grease in there.
No, if you're doing trees or fields or something, and your overalls and clothing is full,
and you're spraying herbicides and stuff like that, those clothes is a black water load as well. All right, so basically, most of you are caught up. So let me go back to this.
They're just roasting Al in the side chat. It's okay.
It's
roasting
fine.
Al.
I'm already roasting. It's just cooled down to 101.
Yeah, well, right now it's still sitting at 85 in the house here, and it's been about 40 minutes since I checked, and it dropped 2 degrees. It's 87 outside. Woo! It's almost like California here. Wait, now I'm going to wait to see what Steve fires in there. Except we don't have the fires that's going on in California. We do it up in northern Idaho, but not down here in southern Idaho. We got all farmland down here.
Right, and all the smoke's coming down the Central Valley. It's smokier than New York.
Yeah, it's smokier in downtown LA.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was just saying, I must be living in an ice box. It's 70 degrees here.
Send the coolness over here. I'll send you the heat over there.
I'm going to send the humidity right with it too, though.
Please do. outside, I dried some stuff. I didn't use the dehydrator. I just put it on trays out on the sunny area, and boom, I dried up 4 or 5 trays like that.
Hey, Kicking.
That's how hot and dry it here is.
Hey, Kicking It.
I kicked in it.
All right, and Darren down under Farm and Forge. Oh,
Yep.
Guys, that's a channel. When Darren's working down there on that, when Darren at Down Under Farm and Forge is working on his forge, those videos are the coolest videos to watch when he's making stuff.
Something I always wanted to learn is how to do forging materials and stuff, because I wanted to learn to make my own Damascus knife blades.
Yeah. My youngest son got them at Scout Camp to put in a forge. So his last 2 years in Scout, he spent most of his time over at the crafts, playing with the forge.
No fish.
Hey, Crazy Ed.
Anybody in Ohio, somebody send Dave a nice window unit.
Or
They're harder to come by right now than well, I gotta be PG friendly. They're harder right now to come by than finding a milking goat in the middle of a cow pasture.
All right, hang on a second here, Dave. I just spotted this. I was thinking about talking to my wife about getting an extra one here for the other end of the house here. So there, and Walmart. Where is it? Where's the one for Walmart here? Come on, Walmart. Not that one.
Hey, Sandra.
Okay, hang on a second here. Which one was it? I found it on the other computer really easy. Now I can't find it here. This one here will work. This is the one from Home Depot. They'll ship it to your house. It has a ducting in the back, which goes out a window, and you can move this unit around, aim it around inside the house here. Comes with all the gear here. And
Sure.
This is
And I'll pull that right out of my back pocket.
And okay. Well, so we'll do a GoFundMe for Dave. And this
Yep.
is only $380, and they'll ship it to you. Ship to home is free.
I got
So-
mine's free.
Yeah.
My neighbors are moving, so they say, "Hey, Uncle Al, you want it?" Sure. It's in my garage.
Yeah. So yeah, there are several different ones here. There was one I was trying to find the one that was there was one that was 13. It was a GE. Sorry, there was a GE one here. It was back on the other page here.
Oh,
There was
nice thing.
There was a GE one for $309. It was a 1300 BTU unit that I was looking at. So it wasn't one of these other ones. It was actually General Electric, and I can't find it now.
That's all right. All of them
Yeah.
have what's it called? Remote control. So
Oh.
all you have to do is put the batteries in the remote control,
Yeah.
Dave, and just point it.
I'm
and
not
it runs.
that old, guys. I can get up and walk still. I can't turn my head very well right now, but I can still get up and walk.
Yeah, well, the GE one did not come with a remote,
Hmm.
which is why it was cheaper. You had the knobs, just walked over and turned the knobs, and worked. But the neat thing is, it was a dehumidifier as well. So you just had to pull the tray out and drain it. It had the system set up for that.
Well, I should have that in about 3 weeks.
Steve, and you got to match it. So, anyways, let's get off that. So, yeah, it was actually how I originally started GrayManPrepping was back in 2013. I had just gotten in full time into the Federal Security Directors Coordination Center, and there were a lot of the changes going on with travel between boats, trains, airplanes, and everything else going on. And Steve, the cost,
Frozen.
there's another dollar. The cost of anything from Home Depot, Costco, Sam's Club, Lowe's is exactly the same here as it is in California. They don't care. They make it the same price all the way across the country, and Walmart too. Hey, Christy. So, anyways, when I started out, I had this little cheap, crappy, itty bitty. I think it was 1.3 megapixel camera, and I was filming some stuff, and it was really crappy videos I was putting out. But I was putting out information about what you needed to do to travel so you wouldn't be pulled aside by TSA or by customs or by any of the other guys. So it'd make it easier. And I think I put out like 5 videos in a two-year period. And I had a total of 25 views for those 5 videos in 2 years. And I said, screw this. Nobody's watching it. It ain't worth my time. And so that's when I just kind of put it in hiatus and didn't do anything with it until this year. And someone suggested that if I separated the prepping away from the homesteading part might do better. And sure enough, it's doing a lot better now. And as far as the views and stuff I'm getting over there. And so I kicked it off and all the prepping stuff over here. And so that's why I'm doing GrayManPrepping over here. And that's where it came from. And yes, so you got GrayMan, Guilford. My middle name begins with M, and Patton. So GMP is my initials. So that was fun. But the other thing too is when I started doing the prepping stuff on my Camppatton Family Compound, it was just trying to get information out there to people, because there are so many people. How do I want to put this politely?
You can't.
That need to do this, if you know what sign language means.
I won't say it.
They need to pull their out.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, because I got something really I got something spicy for Friday.
All right. All right. There are a couple times like when I did earthquake. When I did that live stream earthquake one. I shot it to both CFC and here. But I'm trying to keep most of the prepping over here. Now there are times where it bleeds over. Homesteading and prepping will bleed over, and I will do some stuff over there. And Dave has something here for me to share.
This is just a taste of what's coming on Friday.
Pegasus spyware. Ooh, is that good or bad?
Well, let's take the word bad and put infinity zeros behind a 1. That's how bad this is. It's not a joke. It's not fake. It's not fear porn. It's not all true. That. This is the worst possible overreach of a government that exists. Yeah. And this is now live, coming to a town and phone or computer near you. This is no joke.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, I've been playing around the internet, and I am a techno geek. This kind of stuff I eat up.
So start writing, folks. Go back to the old system. Write letters.
Yeah, 'cause right now nothing's safe. Hey, Mousy.
Yeah, hey, Mouse Toes. Yeah. So yeah, it's Yeah. So anyway, so the whole idea behind GrayManPrepping now is trying to get information out there. So I'm trying to work on the Prepping for Beginners series and get some stuff out for starters. And I got my first one out of the prepping in private on how, basically not, how to hide stuff and how not to show stuff off, all your preps off to everybody. And I'm going to be talking about on those about for prepping in private. If you want to talk about it, what you can talk about and what you shouldn't talk about. It's called what? Anybody in a side chat? I know Steve knows it because he's done a couple of videos on this.
Except Steve's been drinking too much.
Yeah, I've been freezing too much, so Steve's been taking a shot.
No, he said he couldn't drink tonight at this early hour. So
Yeah. Oh, he's
he's
just
probably
pouring
the
into the
only
bottle.
sane one amongst us. When he
Kind
throws
of.
again.
Every time I freeze, he's pouring a shot into the bottle so he can have it later. No, basically it's OPSEC, operational
Right.
security. And so you don't want to give everything away. You can talk about, oh yeah, I got a few things here. You got a friend you're trying to convince to get them to start prepping, putting extra food away, maybe get some of those water containers and stuff, a couple of those, So that's some kind of stuff you share. You don't share. All right, I have, and let's start listing off absolutely everything you have.
No.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to even let anybody know a tenth of what you have.
Right. And you got to look normal. Also,
Mhm.
folks, the big thing, my headache is today, 2 families, because it's fire season here, got burned out of their residence, aka the mobile home was on fire, and
Sorry, Jay.
everything they own burned away. They
Yeah.
didn't put a bug out bag. They had nothing. They only saved their dogs and their kids and the truck they're in. They had no clothing, and only ID they had was in their wallets, and that was it. Two families from 2 mobile homes. I keep telling people, you're living in the foothills. What the hell's wrong with you? And they said, we have trees. And I said, yeah, those trees catch on fire. And they said, no, we like the trees. They're unicorn kind of people. They're prancing around, and they have weeds taller than their cars. What do you call that? A fire trap.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh. Those geese are your guard dogs. So you ain't got to worry about OPSEC.
Yep.
People ain't got to come up and mess with them geese.
Okay, guys, what Al just said, I'm going to throw something up here.
Splat.
Yeah. All right. This is, $30. It's fireproof. Get one of these, similar one. Doesn't have to be this one. Something fireproof to put all your important paperwork in.
Right. If you're trying to get duplicates of that important paperwork, you're looking at buku bucks, folks. It's not cheap.
Yeah. So you want to have everything, so you can just grab this and go. And you also want to take photos of all your important paperwork and put it on an encrypted USB drive that requires a password to get into it. Kingston is one of the better ones, and because that's what we use at DHS. And you have one for you. You have one for your spouse. And if you have an aunt or uncle, cousin you trust to leave it in their safe deposit box, put one over there. And it's update it as you need to update it. But a fireproof, waterproof, fireproof. They have one of the keys. They have the ones that have the combination code on them. They even have the ones now that have the biometric hand thing on it.
Mouse, you have email.
So there, if you're, anyone in a fire zone, anybody in a hurricane zone, get this. Anybody in a tornado zone, get this and bolt it down.
I got mine bolted down, but it's currently buried underneath a bunch of stuff. I can't get to it that easy.
Yeah.
No problem. Also, when you donate clothes for fire victims and stuff, make sure it's current. We have a lot of 80s and 90s stuff that are trying to fit these 2 families.
You know what? Some of them older people really like the 80s and 90s. It's
These
that's
are
when
young people with small children.
Tough meow.
Yeah.
I have dressed 3 kids in Alf shirts.
Hey, as long as they're not wearing bell-bottom plaid shirts and pants at the same time, then they should be okay.
The adults wearing bell-bottom pants, and I don't know, is it balloon shirts? It looked like a damn flamingo team or something, a dance team.
Hey, I grew up living near that crap.
Darren is saying there, a concrete floor safe with a thermal resistant lock. You don't need to worry about grabbing if there's fires in your area. There are a
Did I just see a Howie? Hey, Howie.
Yeah, we got Howie there.
Yeah, it's Howie.
So there are a lot of different type safes, and someone did a review of the best ones. This is after it was in a bad fire, but yeah. But there are.
I'm sorry, those reviews are poor. You need to go out and check out Demolition Ranch or Kentucky Ballistics to see how they test safes. If it passes their test, I'll buy the safe.
Oh yeah, Demolition Ranch blows the snot out of just about everything they can.
I have a question for Howie real quick though. Howie, have you ever visited that island north? I think it's north of you. That's the old military fort up there. I watched a documentary on it. Thought it was pretty sweet. Okay, I'm done.
All right. I'm gonna get back up here, caught back up. So if you're in a fire, like I said, fire season's going absolutely friggin' bonkers right now. I know some of you back east are wishing you could dry out, but that's coming. But out here, man, it is fire everywhere.
Oh, so, and I have to tell everybody, East Coast and West Coast, we're having two problems. Because the atmospheric has changed, we're going to have a second heat wave on the West Coast that goes all the way up to British Columbia. On the East Coast, Dave, you're all right. You're in that middle zone. So Dave stays nice and cool. East Coast, you're going to have a tropical heat wave and your humidity is gone off the scale. We're talking, it's so wet on the East Coast, you don't need to take a shower.
Yeah, I was back there in West Virginia one time where we watched it rain. And an hour later, you could almost, I swear, you can almost see the water going back up again. 2 hours later, guess what? It came back down again.
Right. That's how wet the East Coast is right now. It's probably raining.
If I could send rain out west, I would.
Yeah, bring it over here. It's so dry that I could dry vegetables without a dehydrator. Just put it out in the sun.
Yeah. So, all right, we've hit that time. So we've hit the hour. Well, actually, we started late. That's right. We started late. We're good.
Yeah. We got 4 minutes left.
We can go another.
Hey, I've got all night. I mean,
yeah.
I may have to go get a patch for my neck again to relieve the pain, but because the prescription patches they wanted to give me were $153. My insurance didn't cover them. So I had the pharmacist recommend something. It's called Salon Pass. It's $20, but still.
Yeah, it's good. I use it. It's menthol.
I've seen those ads for the lady going to the pharmacy, and there's Good RX.
This.
Yeah, the Good RX thing where you get a coupon check and it cuts the price like up to 80% over what the prescription was supposed to be.
Right. Gil, I can't remember that herb thing because they do make a patch for that. For your back, remember?
Yeah. I
lost train.
Lost the train of the. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
It's an herb.
Valerian root.
Yeah, that's it, folks. Okay, Steve, he's got to roll out. The kids are
all right, Steve. Take care.
Oh,
so I have checked out BioFreeze in the past there, Bruce, but I can't find it locally without going through a chiropractor. They're the only ones that can sell it locally. It's not available in my Walmart or any other drugstore. Yeah, I have used it in the past when I was seeing a chiropractor, and that stuff is amazing. BioFreeze works instantly, and it lasts.
If anybody got any spare jars, send it to Dave.
Dave, you ready for this? That stuff there on Amazon?
Yeah, that's the stuff. Yeah. It comes in spray, it comes in roll-on, comes in gel.
So, folks, everybody send Dave a whole bunch of this.
Not a whole bunch, just a couple.
Well, if everybody sends some of the whole bunch, then when crap hits the fan then next year, I'll have some to dish out to everybody else.
Yeah, true.
Or just Dave gets a big bathtub full and just jumps in.
Yeah, he'll slide in and all of a sudden be, I'm frozen now.
At least no pain. Hi, Albany.
All right. So coming up here Friday, Friday night on the homestead for the Camppatton Family Compound. We're going to talk, and this is where it can kind of bleed over between prepping and the homesteading, is communication on the homestead. We're going to talk about ways to communicate daily on a homestead, whether it's a 5-acre one like across the street here, or a 150-acre one like Stony Ridge has.
I moved it.
So we're going to be. That's what communications is on the homestead is going to be Friday.
Go out and buy your Baofangs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Prices are already starting to shoot up on that stuff.
Yeah.
And next Tuesday, we're going to be talking about for prepping. Get involved with your local government, your city or township or whatever, county. We're going to be talking about that. And so that's what's coming up. And then the following Friday was a special request by one of the viewers, tractor implements. So let's talk about different type of implements you might need on a homestead or a mini homestead. Like Courtney's is an acre and a half, and I forget what size Butch is. I think Butch is like 2 or 3 acres, but yeah.
Excuse me.
So that's what we're talking about in 2 weeks on that. So, but everyone, if you're planting a garden, doing something, and you don't put out videos, grab your phone, shoot a video, do a short one, and post it. Hey, look what I got growing this year. 30-second video, post it.
And remember, folks, gardening's thrifty. It saves you money. It gives you food on the table. Again, if I hear another person say it, I'm going to...
It's not racist.
I swear to God, I'm going to beat him over the head.
Say what? Say what? I'll say it. Go ahead. I'll say it.
Gardening's racist.
No, I can't say that. Sorry. I ain't saying that because it's not.
No, it isn't. It's growing food, folks.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just catching up at the chat there. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here now. Anything else you guys want to, unless you guys have something else to talk about? Any side chat?
Oh, yeah, I got something to bring up.
Okay, cool.
The other day on your other live, when I was incapacitated, somebody made a comment about we are going into a grand solar minimum.
God.
Well,
not with this temperature, we aren't.
Well, I'm going to go against the grain and call out Oppenheimer Project and Alaska Prepper. And there's 4 or 5 others, BP Earthwatch, Pastor Paul Bagley, just to name a few, that have been screaming for the last 4 years, we're going into grand solar minimum. And everybody has bought that plane ticket and is sailing off into the wild blue yonder, not realizing that in the last 12 hours, we've had 4 CMEs leave the sun, none of which are directed at Earth, thank God. We are not going into a grand solar minimum. The one lady scientist that swore for the last 4 years or 3 years until last year, swore up and down that we were going into grand solar minimum, this year has changed her tune and said, my calculations were off. We're not going into grand solar minimum. So drops, please go check the sun. It's woke up. It's saying, hello, I'm still here. If y'all ain't careful, I'm going to send a kill shot. Because the one that left the sun 2 days ago, I think it was, if it had been at the Earth, it would have been a solar kill shot.
Yeah, and we'd be all dead. We look like
we wouldn't be dead. We would have went back to the Stone Age. There would have been no electrical, nothing. Okay, it went behind the Earth. We're not going to run into its wake. We're not going to come anywhere near it. It's behind.
Let me get that ad out of there. There we go. All right, there we go.
Right here.
There we go, right here. This is suspicious observers. See these spots? There went. Look at that one right there. Just went. Look at that go. Look at that down here, lower left. Look at that go.
And those are behind the Earth. That's where they're facing. Is behind the Earth. They're not facing Earth.
Yeah. See all these little arcs there? Those are flares and stuff. The sun is not going into the grand solar minimum. It's not going to the grand solar maximum either, but
no. We have, let's see, 5, I think, current 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 4 there, and at the bottom lower left, there's another one coming in at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So we'll have 5 earth facing for about 24 hours. Then 3 of them will start fading off. We're not going into grand solar minimum. And for these channels who've been spouting it for so long, generating all those revenue from people who are crawling up their rear ends and screaming, I love you. You're so smart. They're wrong. They've lied to you. They've taken your money. They've taken your time. You ain't going to get any of it back. Sorry. But if you'd paid attention 3-4 years ago when I first started talking about suspicious observers and watching and reading all the paperwork that he actually puts links below each video, you'll see that it's documented. It's got peer-reviewed scientific proof of what he's saying. He's just man enough to put it out here for everybody to hear it and see it.
All right,
So,
there's the link for it.
And that's China, folks. The water's in the tunnels.
China has had 2 dams break.
Yep.
Why? Because they're getting monsoon type weather right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, if we were going into a grand solar minimum, according to the climatologists who have been spewing that it's man-made climate change, that's why we're going into a grand solar minimum. No. Go look at the geological history of the Earth, and you'll see that it's a cyclical event. It repeats itself about every 12,000 years.
Right. Listen to Dave, folks.
I want to consider it repeats itself like Nancy Pelosi every 2 hours. Like she repeats herself every 2 hours.
Okay.
Don't insult the Earth that way.
Yeah, don't insult the Earth. I agree with Dave. And folks, I tell a lot of people, you can't prep during an event. So prep right now, get your food stores, get your gardens going, get everything ready. Because once an event occurs, I'm like, I swear to God, my grandnephew's looking at me. I'm like, how old are you? I'm in college, Uncle Alan. I'm like, good God. And they're asking me how to prep. And I tell them, what the hell I've been doing with your mom and dad for 4 years? I don't know. This is why I'm taking a few days off to relax. It's like it gives you a headache.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to understand, and here's another little tidbit for those who are liking information. The current earthquakes and to a certain degree volcanic activity is also correlated with the sun because there's a magnetic connection between the earth and sun.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to understand and actually predict earthquakes, do the research. If you learn how to do it, you learn where the little spots here on the earth are at, you can actually learn to start predicting earthquakes. I've predicted 2 back when I first started doing it. I ain't done it in a while because I'm a lazy old fart. I admit it. Plus, Ben does a good job putting it up every morning. I don't have to.
Yeah.
But he's got playlists on how to do all this stuff.
And he's got several movies that he's put together from the short videos. You know, the one is an hour long, the other one's an hour and 15, the other is an hour and 8 minutes. So
they're worth your time because there's a lot of information that is scientifically proven, peer-reviewed, and backed by scientists from all over the earth, as well as dissenting views too. He posts both sides. He's not one-sided. So there's a way to learn something. And you know what? Let's put this into proper perspective here. Let's say the grid does go down. Okay, let's say we lose all the electricity and we no longer have this medium to talk. If you have a telescope and you've got the right filter on it, you can watch the sun and you'll know when crap's going to hit the fan again. You're going to know, oh man, we need to get inside. We've got a major sea flare or something coming at us. And everybody in your little group can hide inside while everybody's sitting outside and they get roasted to the skin and bones.
Yeah.
That's why everybody laughs.
Homestead Aquarius. I'm sorry, the sun has been waking up for the last 7 months. It is now full blown. It is a normal solar cycle. We are in cycle 25. Okay, we are not going into grand solar minimum. There's too many scientists that have already backed that statement up, and the sun is backing it up itself right now. I'm not trying to argue with anybody, but I'm just going by what is actually going on real time.
Yeah.
No, that's.
Yeah, I do. There's some things
And
I
we
can't
do have
talk
a-
about
we do-
from the information I get because it's still considered SSI. But yeah, several agencies are up in their stores, and there are memos out there to federal employees to
Go stock up.
Right. Mountain House Factory here had just issued a delay. It says you're not getting any Mountain House food for 6 months. There's a big delay because they have to fill out all the government contracts. And it's not military, it's Gills group of kind of people.
And Homestead
it's
Aquarius.
FEMA,
Right.
DHS, all the, NSA, a bunch of the others, all are suddenly stocking up.
And Homestead Aquarius, you do bring up a valid point that I didn't mention because I was hoping people would actually go over to Ben's site and check it out and catch it on their own. But you do have a valid point of the weakened magnetic field here on Earth.
Yeah.
It will take let's put it this way. 30 years ago, it would have taken an X10 to bring us to the Stone Age. Right now, about an X3.5 would do it. Our magnetic field around the Earth has degraded that much. It's because the poles are moving, causing little gaps in our magnetic field. And if you go watch Suspicious Observers, you'll understand what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to be mean to anybody. I can't dumb it down the way Ben does. And I don't say dumb it down to be mean to anybody. I learn things at a more of a scientific level, and that's the only way I can explain it. And sometimes people get confused or frustrated because I'm not explaining it in such a way that everybody can understand. So that's my bad.
Same
That's why I say
problem
go
with my
watch
wife.
his stuff. Go watch his stuff, and he can explain it better than I can.
Yeah.
'Cause
On some of these, Dave, on some of these things like this, when I try to talk to my wife about it, I start going into the higher level. Even though she has her master's degree and stuff like that, I start going into a level that she doesn't understand. Go, just watch it. You don't have to talk to me. Watch it. So she goes and watches it. She goes, "Oh, that's what you were trying to say."
Oh, Lord. Like I said, folks, basically here, we're telling people to get ready, get your skills, prepare. Because Uncle Al can't help you if I'm dead and like, what the hell we're going to do? Well, Uncle Al isn't here. They can't read my stores.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily going to be a, CME to take, that causes the next thing. It could be something, it could be, earthquakes. It could be the friggin' fires that are going on. We're getting, California's burning again, Oregon's burning again, northern Idaho's looking like Southern California was last year.
I wish I had frogs around here to go play with too. Their Homestead.
What frogs? I had a drought. We're still in a drought. We don't have frogs.
I got a creek down by me, but the frogs down there are just little teeny ones. They're not growing very big. I have a
creek, but it's full of dirt. Lots of dirt.
Our frogs here were because my wife had me cut back on the watering from city water, and we used to have a whole bunch of frogs, and also just got a couple frogs. And I got to get the video out on it now. I'm pulling. I got a 2-inch pump pulling water out of the irrigation dish just to flood irrigate. Now, last night I heard frogs back out there again in the lawn. They go, "Oh, water! We're happy. We're happy. Ooh, we're eating spiders. We're eating mosquitoes. We're eating this. We're happy."
You're right.
I just want to see a frog. It's Dust Bowl conditions out here, folks. I see tumbleweeds. It's like the Miracle Workers Oregon Trails. That's all we got from our harvest. And you see the tumbleweed roll by, and Grandpa and Grandma is dumped into an open grave, and we have hope. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So please, folks, if you want to understand what I was trying to explain, which I may not have explained it very well at all for some people, and I don't mean to be, that way. It's just the way I learn, and sometimes I can't reiterate it very well. Go over, check out his playlists. Trust me, there is a full series on how to predict earthquakes compared to where the spots here on there's certain I can't even subduction zones and a few other things here on Earth that actually move around on the face of the Earth. And as they move around, they magnetically link to the sun.
Yeah, there's the earthquake one here.
Right. And if you want to learn how to predict earthquakes, go watch that possibly 3 times. Yes, Mouse, Suspicious Observers channel.
Yeah.
Can you drop that link again, Gil?
All right. I'll just drop the one here for the playlist. This is to their playlist, so you can bounce from the playlist back over to the regular homepage. But yeah, it's weather learning. Where are we? Blah blah blah. Climate change.
You're right, Christy. You're right. There's nothing new under the sun according to the Bible. It is in God's hands, but He also tells us to be prudent. He doesn't tell us to sit on our hands and laurels and not do anything.
The current playlist he's adding stuff to is the 12,000 year cycle. That explains the cycles we're going through.
And if you watch it, you'll see everything kind of falling into place.
Yeah. So there's he has 3 movies they've made. There's the Earth catastrophe cycle, which I found very interesting. The earthquake knowledge playlist. So and it talks about the planets affect the gravitational pull from other planets affect our fragile system here on Earth.
All right, and just so you know, the 12,000 year cycle that I've mentioned that he's got a playlist on. Here's a little sneaky tidbit, but just don't tell nobody I told you. It matches what the Bible says. As far as the things in the past and what's going to be coming in the future, it matches the Bible.
Yeah.
Just so you know. But don't tell anybody I told you that.
Okay, now we're at we're a little bit past here now, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here because my alarm is going off telling me to get the numbers for the Red Dragon here in a couple minutes.
All right, I'm going to hit Homestead Aquarius real quick. He put out a memo earlier today that they should have that fixed. If you have issues with it, he says go ahead and email him about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Warren. So we're going to wrap this up. What's Al putting up? Hang on a second. Let me go back to this. Al's putting up Matthew 24, 37, 38. All right, folks.
In the days of Noah.
Yeah, we are going to wrap this up here. And just want to remind everybody, doesn't matter what you think the disaster could possibly be. Look what's most likely happening in your area, because if it happens in your area a lot, that's the first thing you need to prepare for. And to take a page out of Tasha Mama Bear Prepping's book, store water. Water is the number one failure of all preppers. You need 1 gallon a day, every day. That's not for all the fancy stuff. That's not bathing. You want to take a bath too, make it 2 gallons a day. Take a bath every 5 days. All righty, so we're going to end it here now. Everyone, take care, stay safe, stay happy, and stay prepared. I froze?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Briefly.
Okay.
Take a drink.
Yeah. All right.
Steve's gone.
Yeah, take a drink. Go hydrate. All right. Take care.